Why not just restrict calories without GLP? Won't you lose weight? No. So this is a great question, and we're not going to attack this person for asking this question because this is a great question. So what we're going to do is we're going to be nice today. So what a lot of us do, I'm 52. And what happens when you hit about 35, women especially, is our bodies go through changes and we start hitting the premenopausal and the hormone changes. And what happens is we have a lot of insulin resistance, or maybe you have PCOS, or you have just a lot of thyroid issues can do this. Autoimmune disease can cause this. But what happens is we just have this big hormonal switch in our bodies. And I'm military, so I was in the military. So I know how to eat. I know how to exercise. I know discipline. I know how to do the calorie restriction. I've done all of this all my life on and off. So I was a huge yo-yoer. So I've done this, but this was my top. Well, actually, this is 20 pounds away from my top. This was when I was 240, and my top weight was 260. So I've done this up and down, up and down, up and down my whole life. So my comfortable weight was always 180, and now I'm down to like 157. When I came out of the military, I was 155. My lowest was like 130. When I went into the military, I was 133. So, having this, just the ability to just have the L, just by the calorie restriction, I've done that, but I was never really quite successful. And I did have the it's actually PCOD now, but I did have that because but when I had the cyst on my ovaries, they didn't actually call it that back when I was in my 20s, early 20s. I didn't know that that's what it was, but we actually had to drain two actually off of my ovaries, but I didn't know what it was. So when you have that hormonal imbalance, it's very difficult to correct. You can't correct it. And especially when you're 35. When I was 35, they didn't do hormone replacement for me when I was 35, being 52 now. Because when I was 35, the answer was, just deal with it. There's nothing we can do for you. Or, we'll put in an IUD, or we'll do an ablation for you because your periods are all out of whack. Or, they just didn't do much for you at that point. So when, it's just kind of like, yeah, do calorie deficit, do these things, but it didn't do anything. Yes, you could have that, but it didn't do anything for you. You struggled, you were starving to death. And it was just this battle that you had to fight. But mine was this noise, this constant noise, constant obsession with food, just worrying about it, just always thought process about it. So when you do the GLP, what actually happens is it really fixes, I'm not hungry, I'm not craving anymore. It slows down your digestion so you can't get as much in your belly. And then it corrects the insulin resistance. So what happens is when you correct that insulin resistance, it actually balances out the hormones a little bit better. So then it actually corrects and it gets rid of the inflammation. It actually is going to help you. It helps your body with the cardiac issues. It helps the liver, the kidneys. So it's actually doing this whole overall improvement in your body. And this is actually research based. This is not just Angela spewing information. So this is really improvement of so much in your body. So there's so much improvement of what it does for you, not just help you with L. So does that make sense? So it really, really is helping you overall, the whole body. So that's when somebody says, you can just go in calorie deficit and you can have the loss. That is not completely true, because when you just go into calorie deficit, you are going to have, yes, the L, but you still have that food noise. You still have that hunger. You still have that craving. You still have that, oh my gosh, I am starving to death. I really, really need a cheeseburger. And you will have that failure. But now, I've been doing this for 4.5 years. I don't have the failure. I don't have that over obsession of, oh my God, what am I going to have in 2 hours to eat? Food is not a thought anymore. And that's what I really, really, really love about GLPs, because it has completely changed how I look at food. It has really changed my overall look of what food is. And that is what is fantastic about everything when it comes to, everything about food. And this is not just me, this is with so many people. And that's what's fantastic about it. So yes, I'm so happy you asked that question, because it really, really is important for people to understand that aren't on a GLP.